Hello everyone, this is Vinay here from Learn Coding with Vinay. In this video, we are going to discuss how to write multi-line queries in SQL and some of the do's and don'ts of writing multi-line queries. So let's jump into the video. So this is a normal select statement, right? We are just selecting data from our employee table, right? However, you should avoid select star because the order of column sequence is not guaranteed. If someone deletes any column and re-adds it, then the column sequence will be changed. So the result set currently we are seeing it is id, name, birth date and depth. It might change after dropping and re-adding, right? So always use dedicated column name with the select query and with your table, right? So here it is, we have written id, employee name, department, birth date from table name, and so we use dedicated column names, right? This will be a better approach. However, you know work when you are working on SQL, I want learners to practice multi-line queries. We will discuss the benefits in this video itself, right? But let's see how a multi-line similar query will look like, right? So if I execute this, it is same to our previous two queries, but the advantage over here is we can add, remove columns very easily. Let's say in one of the query we don't require our department, right? So it's very easy. I'll just comment out department column and we will run that. We'll run the query and the output will not have department. Let's later on, let's say we want to add it, right? So it becomes very easy, just uncomment it, right? Similar stands with the where condition also. Let's say I want to add a where condition. Let me fire this query first. So we do have data with employee in IT department, right? Too. And I want to have this query. I want to have this condition also, right? So I'll just uncomment it and then run it, right? So it becomes very easy to modify your query. So basically why we should use multi-line query is it is more readable and more maintainable, right? Let's take another example of insert, how you should write your insert queries, right? So this is how we should write our insert query, right? So in the first we should list down the columns in vertically comma separated, right? And whatever sequence we have specified over here, we'll have to make sure that we are specifying values in the same sequence over here, right? Now later, let's say someone don't want to insert birth date, and what do we need to do? We just need to comment out the column and its corresponding values. And if this column is not marked as not null, so basically if it can accept null, then this statement would have inserted a data in the employee table. So it did, right? So if I go ahead and run this query again, so we can see the Paris got inserted with blank birth date, right? So again, coming back to insert query again, right? So it becomes very easy to read this query, and maintenance perspective also it is very easy. One more point over here is since it is very easy to read, maintainable, and once you follow this writing multi-line queries, it becomes a pattern of your coding. So that way it helps your code reviewer also, because for a code reviewer also it will be easier to review your code once it has become a pattern, right? So next, let's take update and delete example, right? So here is an example of writing multi-line query, i- update query, and here is an example of write multi-line delete query. However, as a beginner, I want you to be little careful while using multi-line update and delete query. For example, for any reason, or by mistake, I miss to select the where condition, then what will happen? It will update all my record. Let's say, it says 6 row affected. If I go ahead and select this, then my entire table is basically messed up, right? It was updated with a single data, right? Similarly, if I misses to select where in the delete statement, it would delete the entire rows from my table. Currently I'll not do it because we will be using the data in next example also, right? So but so there are over here there are two scenarios actually. So if you are writing your queries, update and delete queries, as a part of some SQL script like store procedure or some long script, right? Then you are free to use multi-line queries. right? But second scenario, consider the second scenario where you want to where you are working on some sort of analysis. You want to do some data massaging, insert data, update data, delete data, and then send the report to someone, right? So rather than writing multi-line update and delete queries, it is a good idea to write single line update and delete query, because the chances of missing out where condition are lesser than the chances of missing out where condition in multi-line query, right? So that way it will be a little safer approach. Once you are pro, then you are free to use multi-line query with update and delete also, but just be little careful, right? So again, in this scenario, even a better way would be, whenever you want to update or delete some data, make sure you write the select statement first and see what data you are going to update or delete, right? So let's say over here we see we want to update the employee ID 2, right? Let me make this 2 data, right? And so first thing you should do is to write select statement and see what is there for 2. Let me just update this, right? And then check out the number of rows affected. It says one row affected. So whenever you are going for updation or deletion, it should give us the same message that one row is affected, right? Because we have only selected one record. The result of select statement was only one record. So your update and delete should also affect only those many records, right? So here in case it is just the one. If this is returning more than one row, let's say 5 or 6, then make sure your update and delete also affects 5 or 6 number of rows. So this way you can tally that what you are doing is actually correct, right? So I hope you learned good things about how to write multi-line queries and some of the do's and don'ts, right? So subscribe for my channel for more tips and tricks in SQL. And thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot, guys.